Anansi Susiwara. Did you enjoy the first episode of our Anansi the Trickster Series? Well, this is episode 2 and I welcome you to Spark of African Tales, where African stories come to life. Today, I want to tell you a tale of why Anansi the spider is always seen hiding in corners. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do so. Thank you so much. In the heart of the forest, where the tall trees whispered secrets to each other and the wind carried stories from one village to the next, lived Kwaku Ananse the spider. But it was no ordinary spider. You can say he was the most cunning, the most sly, and the most clever of all creatures. He wove his web in the corners, in the shadows, hidden from the eyes of others. But do you know why? It is because of the secret, a secret that only Anansi himself knew. And today, we will reveal it whether he likes it or not. Anansi, with his long nimble legs, spun webs that could trap the strongest of creatures. He was known across the land for his cleverness and his tricks. His webs were his tools. The tools he used to outwit those who did not suspect him. But Anansi had a habit. Whenever he was up to something tricky, he always hid in the corners. In the darkest, most secret places, in any room or forest. It was there that Anansi found his peace, his solitude, and most importantly, his power. Let me tell you how all this habit began. When Anansi was young and was still learning the ways of the world, he one day found himself in the midst of a great gathering. The elders of the village were telling tales of wisdom, and of the earth and the stars, and of the spirits who dwelt in the forest. Anansi, always curious, wanted to be part of the gathering. But as he listened, he began to notice something odd. Every time he stepped forward to share his thoughts, the elders would look at him with suspicion. They didn't trust him one bit, for they knew he was a trickster, always scheming and plotting. Anansi then thought to himself, they look at me with distrust. They do not know the truth of my heart. They fear me because of my tricks. But they do not know that I am more than just a deceiver. I am clever. I will show them. And so Anansi decided to weave his web in the shadows, in the corners of the gathering. He watched, listened, and waited carefully, plotting his next move. A day came when a great decision had to be made in the village. The elders, wise and respected, had to choose a leader, a new chief to guide the people. Many strong men and women stood before the elders, each one boasting of their strength, their wisdom, and their ability to lead. But Anansi, hiding in the corner, knew that strength alone was not what the village needed. The people needed someone who could think, someone who could outwit any problem. Anansi, ever the trickster, saw an opportunity. He would offer his wisdom, but he would do so from the shadows, so no one would see his face and remember that he was Anansi, the deceiver. As the elders deliberated, Anansi crawled silently into the center of the village square. From his hidden corner, he called out, his voice smooth like the wind. Oh, wise elders, the time has come for a leader to be chosen. But listen, I say to you, it is not strength alone that will guide the village. It is cleverness, wisdom, and the ability to think ahead that will bring prosperity. The elders, startled by the voice but unable to see the source, turned to each other in confusion. One elder spoke up. Who is this that dares to interrupt our council? That voice, it sounds like Ananse, but no, it cannot be. He is hiding in the shadows, an elder said. Ananse's plan was working. His words coming from the dark corner filled the air with mystery. The elders, unsure of where the voice came from, but intrigued by the wisdom of his words, listened carefully. Anansi continued, "The strongest chief will be the one who can outwit his enemies, who can think faster than the wind. I, Anansi, may not be strong like the lions or the elephants, but I am the one who can outsmart anyone, anytime. And that, dear elders, is the true power of leadership." The elders, unable to resist Anansi's cleverness, began to whisper among themselves. They debated the truth of his words. Could it be that the best leader was not the strongest, but the smartest? After much discussions, they agreed. Anansi's words had found their mark. An elder spoke up again. "Anansi speaks truth. It is not strength that makes a great leader, but wisdom. Let us choose someone who can think ahead, who can lead us with his mind." Anansi, hidden in the corner, had done it again. He had convinced the elders, but at what cost? As the new chief was chosen, Anansi slipped quietly from the gathering, his heart full of triumph. But even as he basked in his success, he knew the consequences of his actions were not yet clear. The people of the village, though they respected the new leader, now looked at Anansi with new eyes. They saw him not just as a trickster, but as someone whose cleverness could not be trusted. And so Anansi learned that even in victory, there were shadows. His cleverness, though powerful, could not always be used to earn trust. It was then that he began to hide in the corners whenever he plotted and schemed. He knew that in the corner, no one could see him. There, he was free to be the spider he was, clever, cunning, and always one step ahead. So that is why Anansi hides in the corners, not because he's afraid, but because he knows that the corner is where his true power lies. In the shadows, he can think, he can plan, and he can always find a way to outwit those around him. Though he may weave his webs in secret, those who understand Anansi know that it is in the corners his greatest tricks are born. Thank you so much for listening to the stage. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell to be notified when the episode 3 drops. Bye-bye!